grade 4, how are you? I hope for you to be fine. Today we will continue our revision and we will start with the lesson of flowering plants. According to the plant, if it has a flower or not, we can divide the plants into two categories. The first one is non-flowering plants. From its name, non-flowering plants are the plants that do not have flowers. And the flowering plants are the plants that have flowers. What is a flowers? What are the main parts of plant? The main parts of a flowering plants, any flowering plants, are roots, stem, leaves, the fruits, and the flower. These are the main parts of a flowering plant. The non-flowering plants also have root, stem, leaves, fruits, but they don't have flowers. So, what is the definition of flowering plants? They are the plants that have flowers. Flowering plants, they can be trees, shrubs, and even herbs. So trees, shrubs, and herbs, they can be flowering plants. And also there are trees, shrubs, and herbs of non-flowering plants. What about the lesson of non-flowering plants? I mean the conifers. What are the conifers? Conifers are non-flowering plants, so they don't have flowers. They are any tree that produce seeds in cones, not in flowers. In the flowering plant, the flower is the main part, is the part that responsible for the producing of seeds. But in the non-flowering plants, the cones are the responsible part to produce seeds, not the flowers, because they don't have flowers. So they are non-flowering plants. Look at this tree. This is the pine, and this is the cedar. This is the cypress. These are the main three examples about non-flowering plants or conifers. These are the cones of pine tree. What is the role of the cone? In fact, the cones contain the seeds of the conifers. These are the seeds of conifers, and they are locating in the cones. There are two different types of cones. The cones of pine and cedar are conical cones. The cones of cypress are spherical cones. They look like as a ball. Because they look like as a ball, we call them spherical. What about the leaves? The leaves of conifers are called needle-like leaves. Why? Because the single leaf of a plant of a conifer, it looks like a needle. So the leaves of conifers, they are called needle-like leaves. This is the cedar tree, and this is the cone of the cedar tree. It is conical, as you see. This is the pine tree, and this is the cypress tree. Cypress, cedar, and pine, all conifers, we can consider them as evergreen trees. It means that they keep their leaves green around the whole year. What about mushrooms? What is mushroom? Mushrooms are non-flowering plants. They are they are a type of plants that don't have flowers, but they have parts different than the trees and other plants. Where can they live? Where can we find a mushroom? Mushrooms live on the trunks of trees and on the decayed wood. This is a decayed wood or trunk of tree, and we can see the mushroom lives here. And there is a lot of mushrooms here on this decayed wood. Mushrooms don't like the light. They hate the light. So they live in the dark and in the shady places. They live in the dark and shady places because we said that they don't like the light. What are the parts of a mushroom? Mushroom has two main parts. The cap, it is like a cap, and the stalk. The stalk is the stem of the mushroom. So, cap and stalk. Edible mushroom is considered as a food for growth. Edible mushroom is the mushroom that we can eat it, and we consider it as a food for growth. The edible mushroom is very useful for growth. But what about the poisonous mushroom? The poisonous mushroom is the mushroom that we will get ill if we eat it. It has white gills, it has a ring, and it has a bag. This is the white gills. They are under the cap. This is the ring, and this is the bag of the poisonous mushroom. If you see this mushroom, don't ever touch it. What about freshwater pollution? Before we review the freshwater pollution lesson, let's talk about the freshwater itself. What is a freshwater? The freshwater, it is the water of lakes, rivers, and the drink water. So it is the water that it is the clean water that we can drink it. We call it fresh water. Also, the water of this river and all lakes are considered as fresh water. What is trash? Trash is the unwanted waste. What is toxic chemicals? Toxic chemicals. They are the chemical materials used in houses and factories. These are many toxic chemicals that we use in our house to clean it. And these are toxic chemicals that are used in factories for industrial purposes. What is the sewage water? The sewage water is the unwanted water released from the houses. Pollution. What do you see here? You see this is a large amount of trash. It causes a pollution. So the pollution is the accumulation of waste in some natural habitat like water or atmosphere. In this lesson we will talk about water pollution. What can cause the water pollution? Water pollution can be caused by the trash. Also, it can be caused by the sewage water. If we release it in the fresh water, we cannot ever drink this water, and the natural plant and animals that live in this water, they will not be able to live. And also toxic chemicals from our houses or even from factories, they can cause water pollution. What are the effects of water pollution? The life of many plants and animals are in danger. Why? Due to the pollution that is mainly caused by human and factories. Look at these dead fish. They died because of the pollution of their natural habitat. So let's review what we learned. What can cause the water pollution? It can be caused by trash, sewage water, and toxic chemicals. So what are the bad effects of pollution? Pollution causes bad effects on the natural habitats like water and the life of animals and plants. Thank you grade 4 for your attention. I hope for you to be safe. Please study well for the next exam. I hope to see you soon.